You know, guys, I was sitting here in my office and I was going to do some preparation and due diligence for this show. And I looked down and I saw the great Carl Seamark, the mattress king of Chicago. And the man wanted to POCO. And when Carl Seamark wants to POCO, we POCO, guys. So without a further ado, guys, 3, 2, 1, let's POCO, guys. It is Un POCO Moss, the show where we give you just a little bit more. Of course, we'd like to welcome in the great Naughty Lurker, J Money, producer extraordinaire, the man with the golden wrench, as he was known in the many Bond films. He played alongside Jaws, little known figure. Anyway, guys, welcome and hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me again. An extremely special edition because we are a broken record here. We never stop talking about it. We want to talk SMCI. I know a lot of you guys want to hear about NEO. I'm hoping to do a short NEO video, so I am going to keep this one a little bit shorter so I can save my voice just a little bit. Spent a lot of time on hold and on stupid phone calls the last couple of days. It is tax season, guys, so I know you guys are crunching your numbers, lining up your spreadsheets and your QuickBooks is just like old Danny is. You guys want to do nicknames. Anybody, let's do a poll. Do you want to do nicknames? The nicknames are so stupid. Let's talk SMCI, guys. The stock, 92 million shares, so volume was way back up. I know it took this crazy roller coaster, literally intraday. The stock hit 45, immediately dumped, almost back down to 42, just roller coaster 44.40. all the way back down, 41.80 to 43. And then it just started, the algo just really locked on and then completely sold off at the end of the day. Algo was kind of locked on there in the, 43.70, 43.80. And it just sold off quickly down to like 42.5 and held there in the post-market trading. Haven't bothered to look at what it's doing on Robinhood, but there's a couple of truths, the two truths. There's a couple of truths that are just inescapable about this stock. The volume is increasing. The shorts didn't know when to quit. You notice what Hindenburg did? They created this whole thing. They shorted the stock from like 70, 80, 60, however long they knew they were going to do this, 100. And then they covered, I don't know, probably down at 18 or 19, probably at the very bottom, if not in the 20s. But what do you see these other guys? They always think, this is going to be the next Nikola. And it's not always the next Nikola. Or, not everybody is Trevor Milton. And Uncle Chucky certainly is not. So this is a real company. Yes, they, did some things with their accounting. Some might call it fraud. Some might call it irregularities. But I think, evidence has shown it was stuff around the margins. This is not an extinction level event, not a black swan event. If anything, it's probably going to be some modest fines, honestly. And if they're fined $100 million or whatever, you have to realize when these accounting stuff, these accounting improprieties alleged were going on, this was a $3 billion, $4 billion, $5 billion a year in sales company. Next year, starting in this July, fiscal 2026 for SMCI, they're saying they're going to do 40 billion conservatively. And I don't think they're ceding market share from their competitors. I think they're taking market share from them. There's basically only two major competitors. I know there's others, HP and Dell. HPE is dying. They're losing market share. They're losing customers. They've said as much. They're laying off everybody. SMCI doing the exact opposite. What do I keep telling you guys? Try to look at a narrative that does not match reality. Why is the media? Why are the analysts? Why are the shorts? Why are they selling this so hard? To take your money, to short the stock and then to ride it back up and get you out at the bottom. Sell the dip and smell the rip. That's what they want you to do. But you're too smart for that. And retail keeps buying these dips. They're slaughtering the shorts. More and more, the smart shorts, the Jane Streets, the Citadels, even, Chases, other big, time traders, they get out at the right times. And then these other guys are just, hung out to dry. See what I mean? Look at the short volume today. Volume's up. Short volume, 50%. That's high. Yesterday, 38. That's basically neutral. No covering. They haven't covered any shares in the last month. It's been shorting upon shorting upon shorting. borrowing more shares today. So far, 2 million shares borrowed today. Look at the short interest, absolutely exploding. And Ortex is way behind on this, but it's back up to 104 million. Went absolutely crazy just the last 2 days. Up 10 million shares. And shares on loan should be coming down for this move up, but they're not because they're digging in their heels. This is my short-term price target, $89. Analysts, these better analysts that are coming in, 5-star analysts, buy at 60, buy at 70. Even the bears hold at 50. Barclays, wrote a big bearish article. They're hold at 59. That still represents 39% upside. This is not some lemonade stand company. This year, they're doing 24.5. The narrative does not match reality. They're trying to sell you a bill of goods. That's what they do. They take retail for a ride. Only this time, I think this is another case where retail's really sticking it to the man. I mean, look at this chart. This was a pump, all this volume coming in, retail sucked in up here. You see the gap. You see it nice in this channel. Look at this line. Providing nice support here. Flips right here. August 1st becomes resistance. See this massive fall from Hindenburg all the way down to 17. Still resistance. Still resistance. Breaks through again. February 10. Goes up, tests the top line here. Rejected. Back down. Coming into this wedge. This horizontal line is important. Look at how many times it's actually, been true to its word. Buy Sofi, Gilgo, big time, big time. This is just fire sale on Sofi. You're barely paying above the SPAC price after 5 years of nearly flawless execution. I know you're a little bit disappointed, in Galileo, but your wife's a little bit disappointed in a few things too, but she doesn't go running out the door with Sven Grammersdorf. Yes, sad sack of shit. Put your big boy pants on. Not financial advice, but put your big boy pants on and buy a few shares. You broke piker. Well, I'm just going to, hoard cash for a while. I'm just going to do the smart thing. I love these guys on YouTube. They're just obviously way smarter and more disciplined and better than the likes of me. Like, you know what I'm doing this week? Nothing, because there's no good setups. Just going to go on vacation. Gonna wear this garish purplish blue blazer I had left over from my days as a huge Miami Vice fan and competitive eater. No one's beat this challenge in 10 years, and I'm gonna go ahead and beat it and then have some it's like 20 pounds. How do you eat 20 pounds? I don't know what's going on with my little live stream here. I guess problems with my internet. God knows. I always have a problem literally like right next to the router and the thing still doesn't work. Anyway, guys, this chart is looking absolutely prime. You see it, making a... Don't look at the drama. Don't look at the fact that this looks like a mountain range or something. That's false volatility. They do this on purpose. They control retail money like sheep. Look at what's actually happening. The stock was consolidating here, 48 down to, say, 40, high 30s. It's almost right back to that level, consolidating again. It made a low at 17. It made another low at 24.25. And now it made another low, 34. And it's moving back up with vigor and enthusiasm. Oh, sorry, guys. Can anybody see the, I don't know what's going on, guys. It's showing on my thing here. Let me see. You still can't see anything? Still nothing? I don't know what the I don't know what's going on with this thing, guys. Let's see. I don't want you to have to stare at my head the whole time, but there was actually a good a good article here on Market Watch. Let me see if I can do something a little bit different. Let me see if I can just let me see if I can just do this. Apologies, guys. I'm a complete idiot. Let's see. Window. Let's see. Let's see. Market Watch. I don't know what the hell's going on. Okay, I think maybe we got a little Danny Deal's life hack here. Let me see if I can just go through this article real quickly with you guys. Can anybody see this? I paid Mongo. Can anybody see the article now? Jeremy Miller, you got it? Okay, sorry guys. This has been showing the whole time on my computer. StreamYard, I don't make a dime off this crap, and StreamYard just raised their price like quadruple. It costs a fortune. I don't think it's that reliable. Anyway, so you guys can see this article. I'm going to click off here. I won't be able to see you because I did some really stupid thing to try to show this. I'm going to go through this article briefly, then I'll just come back and go through your comments. But guys, the short is extremely high. Institutional ownership continue to go up. I was looking at Investors Business Daily. You'll just have to take my word for this. They have an accumulation distribution rating. And if you read the description of that, it's one of the IBD Smart Select corporate ratings. It tracks the relative degree of institutional buying, accumulation, and selling distribution in a particular stock over the last 13 weeks. SMCI's rating, A+. SMR rating, and this is one of their proprietary, pioneered by IBD, helps investors identify companies with superior sales growth, profit margins, and return on equity margin. It's an A. Okay, IBD shows them ranked first in their group. So I'm just pointing that out, guys, not for nothing. Let me go through this article here real quick with you. So Super Micro stock rises again. Why it's an AI winner in 2025. Oh, I don't even think this is the article I meant to read. But anyway, so the artificial intelligence maker, in contrast, other popular names, NVIDIA up 6%, Palantir up 7%. Stocks are having a better day Wednesday. Supermicro's up 6.4% in early trading. So it pulled back a little bit at the end. No big deal. Despite outperforming this year, Supermicro's had a difficult few weeks. Stock reached a high at 625 on February 19, following a business update revealing better than expected long-term revenue, and has fallen 32% since. Uncertainty ahead of the deadline. So we know all this stuff, guys. Tuesday, 10.7% jump. Wednesday's gains. The stock's outperformance this year are signs it could be one of the more resilient AI-exposed stocks. And just think about, I always look at stocks in terms of valuation. I don't care if you make widgets or AI or financial services or, oil or electric cars. If it's undervalued, if it's growing, if the market's placing no or negative value on that growth or pretending it's not growing. Why, I know why the short of this. And I know accounting irregularities, SEC investigate, those are never good things. You should always have your books in order. It's critical for any company, and moreover, even more important for a publicly traded company. Even more important for a publicly traded company that's now doing, over $20 billion a year in sales and is expecting to do, $40 billion plus next year. And what's going to happen to these ratings we're talking about? You're already talking about the SMR rating as an A, and that's, if you read this article that we're talking about, they're, comparing it with Palantir. So the shares trade at 11 times 2026 projected earnings compared to Palantir's 115 times, for example. And believe it or not, I know you're going to think I'm crazy. SMCI is growing a lot faster than Palantir. Let me say that again so you don't fall out of your chair. SMCI is growing a lot faster than Palantir. It's just a fact. They grew over 100% last year. They're growing mid-50s this year, and they're going to grow mid-60s, according to analysts next year. So these projections of 11 times, forward earnings, that's based upon this, $33 billion number. That's a consensus estimate for next year. And the profits, according to that, now if sales exceed that, like Uncle Chucky says they're going to, and I trust Uncle Chucky because he always got me a good Christmas present. He said, look, I'm a billionaire. Any deals? My little nephew, I'm going to give you a vineyard. As long as you agree to never save any trees. But in any case, so if the sales are 20% beyond what they're projecting, profit should be at least 20% beyond. So that 11 times becomes 8 times, 9 times. This stock is insane. And that's with 60+% top line growth. You should be trading at much, much different multiples. 30 times, who knows? But this price is ridiculous. Even at all-time highs, this stock I don't think would be overvalued. If you got the accounting stuff out of the way, this stock would be trading at all times. It'd probably be trading at 200. It's like, well, it's moving down with NVIDIA. The difference is NVIDIA got incredibly overvalued. This stock was incredibly undervalued. And they pretend it's just apples to apples, nutsack to nutsack, twig to berries. Supermicro's sharp fall from 118 could explain stock's valuation. So he said that 11 times projected 20. And that projection, Uncle Chucky says, is low. So if the AI trade continues to suffer, Supermicro may well weather the storm. If there's a rebound in Tuesday's move, could suggest the stock should also benefit. So coming into a ton of momentum here. Whoa, no diddy Danny. Let's see. He's tiny but crafty. Oh, thanks, Jeremy. Welcome and hello. Hello and welcome. Welcome and hello. Let's see, guys. I don't know if there's anything useful. Deuce. Is Deuce Kabuski here? What's up, Deuce? How you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you once again, my friend. Well, Carl, Supermicro is going up in 84. I think it's going up to, 89. If you look at the gaps on the chart, I mean, the one here, I know you guys can't see this, but the one that was from 63 to 66 already just got filled. The next one is basically 84 to around 88. And 89 is a critical level. I think this stock is going to 89, and it's going to happen very, very quickly. The moves are insane. Vanguard, BlackRock, institutions own most of this company. Insiders own the rest. Retarders are going to be fighting for crumbs, like some crow at the beach fighting over a sandwich bag or a, seagull or whatever. Anyway, guys, I am very, very tired of this show. I'm going to try to prepare for. I just wanted to tell you guys what's going on. Today's short volume ratio 50. Absolutely no covering there in the mid 30s. I don't get it. What do they expect? They're just waiting for announcement of some type of criminal charges or something. That's going to crash the stock. I don't think that's going to come. I think if anything, it's going to be a modest fine they negotiate. Nothing here seems to rise to the level of criminality. Hire the new CFO, get the ship moving in the right direction, continue the hypergrowth, and all will be forgiven. Narrative does not match reality. They're trying to con you guys. It's a fugazi. Yeah, I think CFO, the books are incredibly strong. The balance sheet looks great. This is not a dying company. And this is not how rallies end, guys. Look at what just happened with the volume. The volume was 59 million. I know, again, I apologize. You guys can't see this. You have to just look at my giant head. But the volume 4 days ago, 59 million, then 73 million, then 105 million, and then today 92 million. So overall, the trend in volume is up. And the algo was working very, very hard and shorting and dumping today, and the stock still went up 4%. It still held that gap up. Shorts are really out of position on this one and losing. There's a consequence sometimes to being wrong. I mean, they expected these big restatements that the financials would fall apart, that the customers wouldn't be there, the orders wouldn't be there, the company's going to fall apart. Guidance would be very, very weak. Whatever they were expecting, the opposite happened. Uncle Chucky had something for you. I think Uncle Chucky is a lot better than these guys give him credit for. I think the guy's a freaky genius. I think SMCI is completely ahead of the pack on liquid coolant. I think that's going to make them the choice for these huge data center projects going forward. And I think when he says 40 billion conservatively, I think he's in a position to know, because that fiscal year starts for them in just a few months. July 1st. He knows what orders are there. He knows what projects are there. He's not just talking out of his ass. This is an Ace Ventura pet detective movie. You worthless sack. Sorry, guys. I'm really tired. Ugh. And a little good old H2O can't take care of. Anyway, guys, yeah, they definitely need to get it together in the accounting department. That's a very fair statement and a very true and somewhat obvious statement. But I think it's forever forgiven. His avatar is a bear, which is appropriate. The point is very valid. This is still a lot of risk here. This is the second time they've been caught with their hand in the cookie jar with a bunch of accounting fraud and bullshit, flim flam. And you might say, okay, they're just playing fast and loose around the margins with a few orders, moving a few dates up, but the reason the market fell like this, they were able to create so much panic is the market hates uncertainty. Nothing is more uncertain than a company you can't trust their books. You can't trust the audit committee. You can't trust essentially management to tell the truth in their figures. It's like Deborah Meaden used to say on the original UK versions of Dragon's Den. It's like, you've got to know your figures. You don't know your figures. Like, she's like, I'm not investing because you don't know your figures. It's like, I can't do nothing about that. I'm stupid. I love there was a really good one where Duncan Bannatyne was trying to insult this HVAC guy, and he'd invented this skirting board that carried radiant heat water through the skirting board. And he's like, why don't I just take some steel tubes and then you go ahead and fasten your aluminum skirting board on top of it? Wouldn't that be? He goes, well, no, not all. The whole key is here. It's cast as one piece. And when you hit joint like that, you get inefficiencies. He's like, so it's an idea, but I won't be exploring it. And it was just such a biting, like, it was like, STFU, you have absolutely no idea what you're talking about there, hotel man. So take your swept collar and your, $5,000 blazer and go yourself. No, I used to, Dragon's Den, that original UK one was pretty. There was a really tall guy, Peter. And then there was this kind of like, forget Theo. It's like a bald guy, and he had like a gold tooth, and he was a bit sassy. Can't remember. I think he was Greek. Who else was on that one? Can't remember. Anyway, it's good stuff. Yeah, what's funny is like all my brothers, needed like braces and stuff, but that was the one thing genetically that I didn't get just absolutely slapped with is I actually had good teeth, and I still have them all. So, knock on wood. Anyway, guys, Godfather. I'm not going to get into a Godfather impression, guys. Last thing I knew is just time not to get delisted, but something happened since then. No, nothing new has really happened. They introduced some, I think pretty exciting new products. Essentially, that filing was critical because you had several quarters worth of data coming out, and more importantly, you had the forward-looking guidance, which says the company is just going to crush it like Big Pun, at some kind of a plus-size orgy. Let's see, guys. How many do you have in shares versus 2x? Boy, I have. I don't even know how many shares I have. I think I have something like 6,000 shares. I'm not sure. I'll post my positioning. I don't post my whole position. I just post some representative accounts. And then I probably have about 2/3 of that much in the 2x. I don't know. I got way too much money in this stock. I'm trying to add this up in my head. I probably got like half a million here at least. But anyway, like I said, I ride or die with my Uncle Chucky and my Aunt Sarah. They raised me when nobody else would take me in. They gave me my own vineyard. And I've been loyal to them ever since. So I'm just going to load shares. Anyway, let's see, guys. Jeremy Miller, the great Jeremy Miller. I can't follow because I'm going upside down in these comments. Hope they have big problems. No, leave us alone. Yeah, no, they're trying to hire a bunch of compliance and legal people and different stuff, trying to beef up the department. Easier sell than Sofi, already profitable, huge growth, press price, strong balance sheet, best in class product, not much to think about. Well, there was an article of shorts burnt. Yeah, that was a long time ago, Jeremy. They're getting hurt even worse because I don't understand these rookie shorts. What's wrong with you? You're shorting from, anywhere between 120 and 60 and you don't cover at 18? What do you want? Zero, negative, 0 degrees Kelvin? Like, it's stupid. I mean, I've heard of greed. I've gotten greedy and screwed up at the top, but that's ridiculous. And then they bash it back down to 25, and then it's up in the 60s, and you get mid 30s. Those guys that were shorting a lot on those huge numbers on those dates, I mean, why would you not cover? You see the writing on the wall that this thing's reversing. People in my comments knew it. IBD knows it. Institutions know it. Insiders know it. Reality versus Fugazi narrative. It was there on SoFi. It's there on SoFi. I believe it's there on NEO, though NEO is losing money, so that's more of a fair criticism. I mean, SMCI is making a bunch of money already and is only going to make a ton more. SoFi is on a very good trajectory as far as our earnings. NEO, not so much. So I can't argue with that too much. I still believe NEO is an incredibly great investment. I believe it's about to face rip, to be perfectly honest with you. Lisa, what's going on, Lisa? How are you today? Good day. Cameron Robertson, now you. What's up, cornbread? Do you think the Raiders will do? Not that much, to be honest with you. I just try not to get my hopes up too high for the Raiders. If we have a good season, I will be pleasantly surprised, but that almost never happens. I'm still going to root for the Raiders. Still, buy some tickets and eat a few hot dogs, but that's about it. God knows I have enough merch. Oh yeah, volume is nice. 92 million. I mean, there's barely that many shares available. There's 155 million shares on loan. There's nothing available. I don't care what the numbers. Look at the institutional shares, the insider shares, shares on loan. There's nothing available. Just going to be, when they decide to run this thing up, it's going to be absolutely biblical, epic run, and they're going to move it. That's what Vanguard and BlackRock do. They're the two biggest traders in the universe. They rule the world. They move stocks. They don't guess. They decide. They are the decider, and they decide what is best. Quote, HW. Anyway, guys, what's up, Javier? You're very welcome, good sir. Any more recent comments that might actually be useful? NEO is going to be profitable. Yeah, they just did a bunch of staff cuts, I think, to make that exact thing happen. Forever Forgiven. They had a lot of duplication and stuff. That was actually Knockout Investing. There he is, the great Knockout Investment, challenging me for the shiniest forehead on YouTube, the great Knockout Investment. Of course, he's much more youthful than me. But I'm going to get some Botox real soon, Knockout Investments. So don't rest on your laurels. But anyway, no, I remember Knockout Investing a few videos back saying he bought the reversal right off of 34. So well timed, good sir. Well played. Couple preacher girls. Yep. The Un Poco Mas workout, the Fat Man Special, the Tebadaki method. You do 5 sets of preacher curls and have you a chicken quesadilla. What's going on, guys? We all want a chicken quesadilla, not a lurker. We all want cleanly shaved heads. We all want many things, some of which we can't have. Sif Ome, I have no idea how to pronounce that. Sifeome, Sifome. I have some NEO calls. Hopefully I turned on some. Yeah, I mean, basically the whole idea behind investing is you want to crap on someone else's head so, you can lift your own shallow self-esteem and feel some sense of self-worth that the market didn't just crap on your head that day like it does every other day during the year. I finally won one. It's like Jack Chester, the great Jack Chester in Summer Rental is like, well, you can't win them all. She's like, yeah, but one would be nice, Dad. It's like, yeah, one would be nice. As a fat man, fat middle-aged, you just want to win one. Pre-boarding for aging fat people with beards. Boarding all aging fat people with beards, poorly aging fat people with beards and crow's feet. Now boarding in aisle 3. I don't know how I feel about that, but I definitely want space for my overhead. Oh, yes. poor board. No, we're going to add poor posture, unhealthy diet, bad sleeping habits. Yeah, pre-boarding now. Yes, you, sir. I'm the only one here. You're specifically described. Blue checked shirt, a hat that says un poco mas. Yes, pre-boarding now. Fat fuck. These flight attendants can be quite biting. Their descriptions and criticisms. Sirius. I think Sirius might actually be a pretty good stock. I was taking a look at it. It might do. Neo is saying that their after-sales service already profitable. Yeah, some of their swap stations are already profitable. Shanghai is going to put in 40% of the cost for new swap stations, so that's incredible subsidy. Hefei is doing the swap only subsidies for buyers of electric cars throughout the whole country. So what I've been saying for a long time, the government will mandate swap at some levels in China, and they'll phase that in. Now, we're not seeing mandates, we're seeing subsidies, which is, the mandate's ugly cousin. But we're going to see Molly Russell's wart before too long. Not her wart, I'm her tumor. Anyway, guys, definitely don't like and subscribe. What's up, guys? It's the great Billy Jack, the man who apparently has no mouth. He's cut off. He's one of these guys. Just doesn't want to be identified. Let's get a mysterious growl. Probably sounds a bit like Sam Elliott. Hey, Mr. Elliott, dinner's ready. Boy, if you don't get out of this barn, I'm going to jack slap you upside the head with this wagon iron. I was just calling you for supper. Let me tell you something. Like just Sam Elliott just randomly threatening people. So weird how old these guys are now. Like, I don't consider myself as old a turd as I am. People are just old as shit right now. If you were like a big star in the 80s, you're either gone or you're just barely hanging on. Like, hey, it's for reverse mortgages. I'm like, weren't you in Roadhouse? Weren't you just kicking everybody's ass? Like, that was 45 years ago, mijo. Fuck. What the fuck happened to me? Hey, you're an old fat guy with a beard doing shitty videos on YouTube. I was a huge star. I'm like, is this happening in my head or is this a real conversation? You got to ask yourself that, mijo. Don't it? You guys can tell I like Roadhouse. Dude, don't get me going on Al Pacino's hair plugs. Dude, my little brother, when he was living with me, what did he do? I think he did a Sean Connery impression for like a month straight, drove me to the brink of insanity, and then he was doing Al Pacino for like a week before we came to blows and just almost killed each other. Oh, good times. Anyway, guys, bookend tackles, great bookend tackles. I'm not going to put anything on X because I don't know how to post anything on X. You're the one with the wrench. You're the cerebral one, the one with the shaved head. I can't shave my head. I got a little tiny brain. I'm overcompensating for something. Anyway, guys, I got to run. I appreciate you. Thank you so much to the great Nautilurker. Thank you so much to the great Princess J for tolerating me. It is probably the most difficult job. And it's like Bill Burr, like, the most difficult job in the world is being a mother. It's like, really? You ever tried roofing in July as a redhead? Like, hilarious. You can send your kids to their room anytime you want on some trumped up charges. Hilarious. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much. Appreciate you watching. It's been just the honor of my life to do this broadcast for you all. It's you guys are both an officer and a genital. Thank you so much. Peace.